I hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We are live, Dave. All right, so you guys are saying that I'm breaking up a lot, huh?
Well, you were there a couple times, yeah.
Now, now you're not. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So we are live. It is Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. We have Mandie with us for our monthly resort, what do we call this? Resort Spotlight. And we decided, Mandie just had said to me, we're doing a lot of expensive places that people might not be able to go to or afford. So let's go for Pop Century this time, which is currently the only value resort that's open, unfortunately. So, Mandie, no word on the All Stars when it's going to reopen. When they're going to reopen? No official.
No,
word
they
from
have
Disney.
no official word on it whatsoever. My educated guess would be that it's going to be sometime in September 2021.
Really, that far?
I just think because that's where they have everything planned to currently. That might, and you can ask me next week and I can learn new information and my hypothesis could change. But I just have a feeling that they're going to run the status quo through next year. And then, they'll make an announcement earlier than that, obviously, but everything will change after that date. I think they're going to try to run everything through that date and slowly open things and slowly put stuff back.
So the availability, hi Scott, the availability of value, more budget friendly resorts is really limited. And Pop Century is one of them. But even Pop Century, I found some dates, I can't find it for less than $200 a night for certain dates. So we may have to do a show.
No, absolutely. And once they put the Skyliner in.
Yeah. So we may have to do a show in the future on some offsite accommodations for people that are really looking to save money, because for some people that's just not feasible. So we'll have to see.
Yeah.
It's become kind of like a moderate now.
Yeah, once they put the Skyliner in, the prices went to a moderate level for sure on some dates.
So let's talk about the layout of Pop Century. This is not the most recent map, but it works well for our purposes. If you've never stayed there, it is broken up into decades. If you know the history of Pop Century, originally the resort, which is now Art of Animation, was supposed to be part of Pop Century. They were going to have the legendary years, which was going to be the early 1900s, before 1950, and then Pop Century, that now exists, was supposed to be the classic years, which is 1950 to 1990s. After 9/11, they cut back the plans to make the earlier years, the turn of the century, 1910 and on, but so that's why we have the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Now, what are considered the preferred sections now, Mandie?
The preferred sections are going to be the 60s right in there. And like right there. But I like to book the 90s or a standard room and ask for the 90s.
Okay.
That's what I like to do.
Why do you like the 90s? Why do you like the 90s?
Because it's a standard priced section. The resort's not that large, and you can pay that price, and you're close to the bus stops right there in the front.
Yes,
you're a little bit from the Skyliner now that you have that.
Yeah. That was always something I would tell people. People would ask me if preferred was worth it at Pop Century. I really don't think it is, because that 80s and 90s section, you can really cut across that parking lot that says that there's a gray blob on this map that says 90s parking. You can walk across that parking lot and be right at the bus stop or the Classic Hall where the food court is very quickly, even quicker than some sections of the 50s. So yeah.
No, I totally agree with you. And that's exactly what I do. And the Skyliner walk is not that.
Yeah, the Skyliner does change. The Skyliner does change things. This is the new map that shows where the Skyliner is. It's a little hard to see, but the Skyliner is right behind the 60s. There's you can see there's right next to where it says Pop. That's the Skyliner line. So they've kind of turned this map on its side from the map I showed you previously. So that is a little far from the 90s, which is in the bottom of this picture. But
right. So now I guess you could request the 70s and, be able to do the same thing that we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. The 70s is a good location. It is. So, and we were in the 50s with my mom, and it was a standard room, and we were very close to both the classic hall where the food court is and the Skyliner. So it doesn't really preferred might not be worth the money. What was that big long thing from Holly, Dave, that she had posted before? I asked you to take it. We bought DVC after our stay at Pop with 5 of us, 2 and a pack and play, a double stroller and a single stroller, babies and the stuff that come with them. We felt like we couldn't breathe. I get that, Holly. It can be a little tight.
Yeah.
Especially, I think
it can be tight.
I think the new refurbishment really did make the rooms feel smaller when the beds are down. So let's talk about the rooms a little bit. All of the rooms got refurbished about 2 years ago, and they now have queen size beds, which is a big deal for a value resort. But those queen size beds can be a difference as far as room, space in the room. One of the queen size beds is a Murphy bed, which transforms to a table. Here, let's go. There's the picture. So you've got 2 queen size beds.
What I like about it is,
go ahead.
Sorry. What I like about it is when you have the queen size bed up during the day, you have a full table and chairs and space to move around in the room. But at night, when you pull it down, it's not like a sleeper sofa mattress or anything like that. It is a real bed. So you have 2 real queen size beds, which makes a lot when you have, a bed for you and hubby, and then a bed for the kids, And to Holly's point, this isn't something I would recommend for a family of 5. Yeah, it's definitely going to be tight at a family of 5. At that point, you should probably move to one of the 5th sleeper rooms that we had talked about, or a DVC villa, like she had said. The max occupancy is 4 people, unless some of those people are infants. And a lot of people like to put the 5 people in there regardless if they have an infant, but they don't think of the space that pack and play and the objects take. And it can be exactly what Holly said. It could be cramped.
Yeah, because she said she had a stroller.
Stick to 4 people for the Pop Century. Stick to 4 for Pop Century. Yeah.
Right. They stayed in the 50s overlooking the bowling pin pool, and it was a fairly short walk from the main building, and they stayed just before the Skyliner opened. The 50s is pretty close to the Skyliner too. Dave, I want you to stay in that picture for a minute to talk about what Mandie's saying here. If you look at that Murphy bed mattress, it is just as thick as the other mattress. They're exactly the same. When the first time I stayed in one of these rooms, I pulled the sheets back and I checked, and the mattresses in both beds are the same mattress. So the Murphy bed is just as comfortable as the regular bed.
That's what I've been hearing. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And it's really nice, like during the day, if you go to take a midday break, you have the table to feed the kids and all that kind of stuff. So you have the space if you need it. Yeah.
There's a little like mini kitchenette sort of, it's just a refrigerator and it's not even a Keurig. It's one of those coffee pots. But there is room there if you're like, I know you're not supposed to bring a toaster to Disney, but I do. And I unplug it as soon as I'm done using it, and it fits right in there. And housekeeping has seen it and never said anything to me. So I'm a rebel. There's a little drawer that pulls out between
I think
the countertop.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah, between the countertop and the fridge. And that's a tiny fridge. I just wanted to say that. That's more of like a wine chiller. I don't know. How does the table fold up to be a Murphy bed? Karen, it's like I know you've stayed at Saratoga in the new. It's a similar setup to the couch Murphy that you've got in Saratoga. It just sort of folds down, and
goes down.
Yeah, I can't. There's what's the word I'm looking for? A hinge. There's a hinge.
Collapses the table underneath.
Right, that makes the table collapse when you pull it down. I'm trying to find a better picture of that bed.
Hola, ¿cómo está, Tom? From the Pacific Northwest.
Holly said they left the bed up during the day, hoping it would help, but the pack and play was.
Yeah, it helps.
The pack and play was still too much. So Karen, that where the top of the table meets the piece that it's kind of standing on, the legs of the table, there's a hinge there, so it kind of folds down, and it does really work. It's really neat. So.
And it's comfortable.
It is comfortable. They had the same.
Yeah, very comfortable.
They had the same Murphy beds in Art of Animation, and now in some of the rooms that they refurbished at All Stars, they have them too. If All Stars ever reopen,
the All Star,
yeah.
The All Star refurb looks exactly like Pop Century.
Yeah,
they look identical.
Yeah, and they did put in bigger TVs when they did this refurbishment as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
So I'm not sure if everybody heard me before when I said the preferred rooms were the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Okay.
Just to clarify.
Certain rooms in the 50s and 70s.
Yeah, there's
right?
certain parts of it, like depending on where, right. Yeah, it's dependent on where you face, and it's going to be everything facing closer to the food hall and to the pool that are going to be considered the preferred area. If you're on the backside, you're going to be considered a standard.
No, Karen, that was one thing that was weird. Karen's asking if you have to hide the chairs too. Mm-hmm. Those chairs, I didn't know where to go with them. I wound up putting them in this space next to the kitchenette, which is across from the Murphy bed, where those trash cans are. That's where I wound up putting them when I took the bed down, because I really didn't know where to go with those chairs. Honestly,
right. I guess if you don't have an adjoining room, you could put them in front of the door right there by the coat hooks.
Yeah. But yeah, that it was like in front of the door, like where you open the door, so it was kind of in the way. But there's kind of a space between the kitchenette and the counter where the TV is that you can kind of put them. They are in the way, and I can imagine Holly's dilemma with the pack and play. I guess you could put one chair and like fold it on top of the other one. I don't know.
Yeah, I wish they were stackable. That would be nice.
Oh, Alyssa's missing out on Disney because of the travel ban from Connecticut. We're so sorry, but we're glad you could join us tonight. But I know you'd rather be at Disney. I would too.
That's cool.
The kitchen, there's some stuff that just comes in the room. A couple of coffee pods and creamer and stuff, but
I don't see any
your
Mickey
standard
waffles
coffee
in there.
bar.
Yeah. When I first saw this room, I didn't think it had a safe, and it's actually kind of hidden. It's it's under the table. It's under the TV, inside the cabinet. So it's a flat safe.
Yeah, ours at Caribbean Beach was the same way when we stayed there in February, in the dresser.
Yeah. I want to speak to this. This was an adjoining room I was in on this particular trip. And I want to speak to that, the value of the adjoining room for families that are more than 4. So families of 6 or 8, I often see questions on Facebook, where can we stay? And a lot of people say, stay at the cabin, stay at Art of Animation. We're a family of 6. Where can we stay? Sometimes it's cheaper to book 2 rooms at Pop or All Stars if it's open than it is to book 1 room at Art of Animation or a cabin at Fort Wilderness.
And even if it is slightly more, but around the same ballpark, it's very advantageous to do because you get double the square footage, you get 2 bathrooms, you get, 4 beds, you get, you get a lot by booking 2 rooms. It's something that I do quite often, and it works very well.
Now, what are the rules on that? Because is there? Because I know there's no guarantee of connecting doors.
If you're a parent that has 4 younger children that are under 18, you are guaranteed 2 adjoining rooms, and that's a guaranteed adjoining, and your reservation will show under 1 reservation number 2 rooms. Unfortunately, if you have 3 people in your party that are 18 or over, so now you're a parent that has 1 18-year-old and 3 younger ones, now you're no longer guaranteed the 2 adjoining rooms. Okay. What they do though is they link both reservations with what's called a travel with number. So you not only have a reservation number, you have a TIW, and that will make the house manager, a room assignment manager, know that your party's traveling together. And in the preferences, it will say that you are a family or a travel party and you prefer to have adjoining rooms. Now, they do everything under the sun to make that happen. And I've never had it not honored, but they don't have to do it. It's not guaranteed.
Right.
So if they come into some kind of issue where they don't have those rooms, they're not legally obligated to give you 2 adjoining ones.
Okay. Everybody wants to know about
like I said, they'll never know.
Everyone wants to know about the toiletries. They're in pumps. The toiletries are in pumps. I wanted to show you guys the bathrooms at Pop. They do have the removable shower head, which some people like. My husband has been known to switch out shower heads at hotels. So I like that Pop Century has them because I'm always afraid that we're going to get busted with his shower head from home.
Well, we bring our own shampoo and conditioner. We don't like those pumps.
Now, Pop Century has tubs in some rooms and showers, walk-in showers in other rooms. So if you need a tub for a toddler, you kind of need to let them know because some rooms
and you need
don't
to request
have them.
it. Yeah, just like if you want a real crib versus a pack and play, you have to let them know that you want the tub.
Okay. Like do you have any idea like as far as
make that request and have that honored?
Do most of the new rooms have the walk-in? Is that why this became such a big deal? Or I don't understand why they did in some rooms they did
I've just always known Pop to have them. I haven't known them to not. So
okay.
Like I've always known them to have the mix. I don't know exactly why they would do something like that or why they wouldn't. It's similar to Copper Creek, how they did some with showers, some with tubs. I don't understand the logic behind it. I would think they would do a consistent design, but
one or the other, and then Okay, so there's the toilet. They have a toilet.
Yep. But to play devil's advocate, maybe it meets to both sides' needs. Maybe some people want a shower to go into and others want a tub. So now they have both design. They do a 50-50.
The thing I was struck by the first time I walked into one of these rooms was there was a lot of cubbies and storage and things like that in the bathroom area. There's also can I say crap ton? There was a crap ton of USB all over the beds, like both sides of the beds, and then this whole wall here. There were more USB charging areas. So
as they redo the rooms, they're doing all of these amazing USB ports everywhere, and like they're doing an oversupply of them, which is so nice because I know when I'm there, you have to have the battery charge, the iPod charge, the telephone charge, times 3 people. So that's excellent. And then the other thing that they're doing that I love are taking all the carpets out and putting in the linoleum floor.
Yes. And they have that as well.
And Pop was one of the first ones to do it. And I just really love it. It's so much cleaner.
Carpets are just nasty.
So much cleaner.
The refurb included pocket doors. That's what I'm trying to show in this picture. That there's pocket doors for privacy. Yeah. That's me in the mirror. When I first posted that picture, I had put Mickey over my face, but that's me in the mirror. I took that picture.
And that's Toni, that picture shows the space where I was saying, the picture behind showed the space where I was saying to put the chairs. If you only have one room and you don't have to go through the adjoining door, put the chairs in front of that door.
That's a good, so here.
Put them right there. Yeah. As long
in front of that orange door. Yeah. Put them in front of that orange door.
You don't have 2 rooms. You can make them like a bench.
Oh yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you put your pack and play there.
You only can pick one though, Holly. What do you want?
Hey, if the kids are small enough, you just open up one of those little drawers right there and stick them in there.
Let them sleep in there.
Yeah. Okay, I have to confess, When
that?
When the kids were little and we were traveling one time,
Mm-hmm.
I forget how old, probably, a couple months, 3 months old, whatever. We took one of those drawers out of a hotel and we put some blankets in there and we put the kid in there.
Put the baby in it? Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah. They
Not
couldn't
the
roll
first
if they
baby to
rolled.
sleep in a drawer. No.
Yeah.
We were traveling with my mom for our pop trip and listed her as a travel with party, but the front desk, they said they could not give us a connecting room because they had too many teenage groups that needed them. They had adjoining but not connecting. It was exceedingly cheaper to book 2 rooms at Pop than a suite at Art of Animation.
Yeah,
sometimes it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it is.
So Holly, you had rooms adjacent to one another, but you did not have the door.
Yeah. So the big deal at Pop Century in the last year is the Skyliner.
Yes.
I remember the first time I rode the Skyliner was for G3 because I was staying at Pop Century last October, when our friend from the Isle of Wight came to visit, and
you weren't too excited about
No,
you weren't too excited about that.
But it is a game changer for this resort.
Definitely.
One thing you have to be aware of is those late afternoon showers, especially in the summer. If you're staying in the summer, it almost negates it, because then you've still got to walk back to the buses in the afternoon and wait, especially with the social distancing going on right now. We haven't had much rain lately, though. The rain's pretty much, the late afternoon rain is kind of done.
High winds and rain are the 2 things that I understand them to close them for. Yeah. So just to keep in mind, and they need something on the app. I think Dave has said this.
Yeah,
that tells you on the app that tells you, hey, Skyliner's not running.
Right. Even if they sent notifications to everybody staying at Pop or everybody staying at a Skyliner resort on that day, that would be nice to get a notification. It is easier to go back as long as it's open.
Yes, it is.
So,
Now,
and
most of the time it will be,
Yeah. Pop Century has a food court and it has a shop, and they're kind of connected to each other. It's called Everything Pop, and it kind of, both of them are called Everything Pop altogether. Right now during COVID, I want to explain something to you. This picture is a good way to look at it. On the side, my left here, under the Disney Crush logo on this picture is where people are having to line up to wait for their mobile orders to be ready. The other side, which goes toward the buses, is where people have to line up, wait to get into the shop, because they're only letting limited number of people in the shop at one time. The food court does have Dole Whips, Dan, you're right. So you have to be aware of that. And that's what Lauren was talking about last week. She got there at about 8 o'clock at night, and the lobby was swarmed with people waiting to get into either the shop or the food court. So you have to order everything on the mobile app right now. And it's kind of hectic right now. I won't lie. At least it was when I was there. But I did go get breakfast at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and there was nobody there, and I got right in. So there's that. So if you time it right and go at unbusy, times that are less peak times, just a push notification like the one that tells me to talk to the guest experience people under the blue umbrella would be really nice.
Yeah,
a push notification would be awesome.
That would be perfect.
Yeah,
that'd be perfect.
I did find the menu at Everything Pop to be much more limited right now during COVID. These bays are actually not open right now. This is a stock photo from Disney. When I went, there were tables across where you went and showed them your mobile order, and there were partitions, and so you couldn't really get past the tables, which were kind of right behind the registers. And they just gave you your food in cardboard and everything, was one texture because it was inside cardboard with steam that made your waffles limp. But I think that's just a limitation of what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, I think that right now that's just a 2020 side effect. I mean, normally the food court at Pop is pretty good and it has a lot of variety.
So Holly's saying they had oatmeal cream pie size of a dinner plate. Wow.
That's awesome.
The thing Pop Century is famous for is this, which I am not impressed by.
The tie-dye cheesecake.
It's tie-dye cheesecake. It used to come like it looked like a piece of cheesecake, but now it comes in a Dixie cup. And they didn't lower the price. They didn't lower the price at all. Hi, Bradley. We love you too. Is that a friend of yours, Mandie?
No.
I guess. Okay.
I'm dying laughing at you with the Dixie cup.
That's what it is. It's a Dixie cup of tie-dye cheesecake. And the dyes kind of make it taste funny to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm honestly not a fan, but people go crazy for it. And
Amanda says she never had the Dixie cup. Maybe she got the slice. I don't know, but I've been seeing the cup lately. They have a lot of different things that Pop Century is known for. They have these Pop Century waffles. My mom always gets the waffles. But lately I've been seeing the smaller ones.
Okay.
So
But those are the better ones. Those taste like the Mickey waffles.
Scott wants to know if is it the tie-dye cheesecake hollow in the middle or Holly's Dole Whip. I'm not sure.
I bet they both have holes.
I think he's talking about the Dole Whip. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The and there's a huge seating area where they usually show Disney Channel shows or shorts and things like that. The refillable drink station is also kind of closed right now. They have a table going between those two stations there, and cast members will fill your drink. They'll give you a cup,
right? A
paper cup with a drink in it.
Into your drink, yeah.
Right. You show them that you have a refillable mug, and they give you a paper cup to fill your mug up. I don't know if I should mention this.
Yeah, and that's how they're doing it at all of the refillable drink stations.
Yeah. I'm going out there. They're not scanning those mugs. So if you're the kind of person who goes in August and then goes back in September and then goes back in October, I'm just saying they just want you to show them that you have a mug. That's all I'm saying. You just read between the lines. Nobody's scanning the
Pack
mugs.
those mugs, guys.
or you can just be like Amanda and just wander down the hallways and look for White Claws.
That's a good plan. That's a good plan.
Right, right, Karen.
The gift shop at Pop Century is nice. They have a lot of the merch you see in the parks. And they do have necessities if you forget anything. They've got nope. Yeah, like that.
Necessities.
I didn't mean to put that picture up. I thought it was a picture of the toiletries. I thought it was this picture of the toiletries.
That other picture was my room. That was in my room. Yeah.
Those are other necessities they have. So Tom, you didn't hear. I would never say to steal soda from Disney, especially since they don't.
No, you said you said to put a shooter of the alcohol in it and then go over to the refillable drink station. We all heard you.
That's a good idea.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Yeah. So the resort, the shop is pretty decent at Pop Century. So Pop Century is famous for their over-the-top icons all over the resort. So you've got the 50 section, which is Lady and the Tramp, and I have the Tramp. I have a picture of the Tramp. Here he is. There's the Tramp and the Lady, And there's also a jukebox at the far end. My kids always would get upset when we get put in the jukebox room because they wanted to be with Lady or the Tramp. So
yeah, that's my favorite theming over there too. I like it a lot. It's so cute.
And
you don't see Lady and the Tramp anywhere.
Yeah, even the stairwells in these sections are neat. The 50 section has the bowling pin stairwells, and we're going to talk about the pools in a little bit, but they also have that theme continues. The 60 section has Duncan Yo-Yo stairwells, and has Play-Doh as one of the icons, and I know I have it. Jungle Book as the other side.
So cute.
So, yeah. There's a picture that Kurt Stone has of him standing in front of that. I love that picture of him.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite pictures of Kurt. And then the 80s section has Rubik's Cubes. Oh, I skipped the 70s. The 70s section has 8-track tapes. 8-track tapes, which my kids probably don't know what those are. And it's got a whole foosball court through the middle of it. And it's got a big wheel, which was my favorite thing I ever had as a child, was my big wheel. And it's kind of known for this. Disney puts this picture out a lot of the
foosball and the big wheel. Yeah.
And the Mickey phone.
The Mickey phone. Yeah. I was waiting for that one.
They're both really cool.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that the theming at Pop Century isn't as good as, the All-Stars, but I think it's better. I think it is a lot cuter.
Why are all the toys at the 50 section stuff I had as a kid in the 70s were my parents?
You got to talk to your mom, Scott.
What kind of toys did you have this is the 70s section. The big wheel and the Mickey phone and the foosball.
Well, he had the things from the 50s. I don't know, Lady and the Tramp and the jukebox.
The Play-Doh was in the 60s section, but Play-Doh's still around.
So. Oh, yes, it is. It's everywhere. In my house.
Exactly.
And
we put the kids on the tile floor, and stay right here. Nobody moves. Yeah.
The 80 section has the Rubik's Cube. That's the 80 section. And it has Roger Rabbit.
Yo-Yos and the Play Dog, the 60s. Okay. Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, Roger Rabbit.
I just a side note, I showed that movie to Cam, and I have to say he did not like it. I was disappointed.
Aww. And the last section is the 90s, which I didn't even take a picture of the stairwells because it's a cell phone, which is like lame. It's like a Motorola cell phone. It's like, really? And they have a computer, which is actually featured in the computer pool, which I need to find. It's the most boring pool, but it's wet. And
Karen, welcome to Moon.
Oh, poor Karen. That's it. I'm trying to find my picture of the computer pool, and I don't seem to have it. That's Hippy Dippy. I don't know. I didn't take I don't have my picture of the computer pool went. But it has a computer. It's really not that. It's a square pool. Nope, that's Hippy Dippy. It's a square pool, and it has a computer.
That was a splash zone at Hippy Dippy.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to talk about the pools, even though I don't have my picture of the computer pool.
Hey, Mandie.
Yes. Yes, I love it. I love it.
Got it. I got my picture of the computer pool.
Hey,
it's
Barbara.
coming. There's the computer pool.
Yay.
And you can see at the end of the building is the Motorola phone on the side of the building, the green phone. It's the most lame section as far as theming, but whatever.
Did you just say that?
Yeah.
Well, it says it right on the building. Whatever.
Yeah, all the sections have like things that you would like slang from the decade. So out of sight is yeah, that's out of sight too. So we got the computer pool. The 70s doesn't have a pool. It has the foosball thing that you can't play foosball in, so don't ask me. I wanted to ask you something, Mandie.
Yeah.
When my kids were little, this was a water feature, but it's not anymore, is it? Didn't they pave over it? Because that looks like they paved over this. I think there's no more water.
Go back. Yeah, they did. They sure did.
Because
That used to be a splash zone for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no more splash.
Yeah.
But there's another splash zone over by the main pool.
There's the hippy dippy pool has a splash zone, but you're absolutely right that used to be a splash zone. It's completely paved over now.
Oh wow, poor kids. I think there were kids running through there, and there were people. It's kind of a passageway.
Like a path. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a good
good place. Similar to how like at the similar to how at Epcot they have the splash zones on the walking path over to the International Gateway.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of like that.
The main pool is the hippy dippy pool, which doesn't look big in this picture, but it is a big pool. I don't know why this picture does not make it look as big as it is. It's weird.
Because it's so high up and taken at such a view that you're not getting the full size of it. Like, see how small the people
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Compare that person to the pool. It's gigantic. Yeah.
And the thing that these pictures aren't showing. Oh, here's one. Is that those flowers shoot water on you? So the kids like it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fun.
So
exactly.
We saw the computer
kind of stuff.
Yeah. We saw the computer pool. We saw the hippy dippy pool, and the last pool is
the bowling
pin pool, which this picture I got straight from Disney. It must be a Disney stock photo, because look how perfect these chairs and towels are in this picture. Like the chairs are perfectly lined up, and the colorful towels on every seat. So that is definitely a stock photo from Disney.
Yeah, no, I've seen that picture several times for sure.
Yeah. So, and that's in the 50 section. So
thank you, Bradley. That was very nice.
Thanks, Brad. Thank you very much. One thing that I'm not crazy about at Pop Century is the bus situation. Invariably, the bus station for Pop Century at the parks and Disney Springs is, without question, if I'm staying there anyway, the furthest away from the park exit. And it doesn't really matter when you're coming to the park. It's more at 11 o'clock at night when you're beat tired and you want to go back to the resort.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know. Is it just me, or are they the furthest bus stops? I joke about the fact that at Disney Springs, the Pop Century bus stop, now this was pre-COVID. Right now, there are resorts that are closed, so they're not using all the parking, all the bus stops. And they actually did move Pop Centuries closer. But when all the resorts are open, Pop Century's bus stop is literally next to the road. It's so far out. And I took an aerial picture. I found an aerial picture from Google Maps to show where the Pop Century, and it really is right next to the road. It's really far away. But so go now while there's COVID, so you can get closer.
Typically, the value bus stops are further away. That's
the thing
completely accurate.
The thing I don't understand about Disney Springs is the bus stops for Saratoga and Port Orleans, the resorts that have boats are the closest bus stops, which that doesn't make sense to me. I know right now the boats are closed, but even when the boats are open. So Holly agrees with me. Pop is the furthest.
That's your mom in that picture.
Yes, I took the picture. So,
It's Phyllis.
Oh, okay.
It's Phyllis. So the thing that Rich was mad about was we had paid a lot of money to stay at Art of Animation, and the bus situation at Art of Animation was no better than Pop. And he's like, I'm paying all this money for this room, and I still get treated like I'm staying at Pop Century. So, yeah.
They
Mr.
still
Crab.
categorize.
There's Mr. Curry. There he is on the Skyliner.
They still categorize Art of Animation as a value, even though if you ask
Yeah.
me, it's more of a moderate.
And I'll be honest with you. There have been times where I can find a deluxe room for cheaper than a suite at Art of Animation. Just depends on the deals that are going on at the time.
Right,
Yeah,
because you're doing a deluxe studio to what they consider a 1-bedroom suite. So yeah, absolutely can happen for sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then at that point, you want to weigh out, you know, the amenities or the extra bathroom. What do you want?
Right. You're absolutely right, Barbara. All-Star is also far away. The bus stop for All-Star.
Yeah, usually the values, Art of Animation, All-Stars, and Pop are the furthest bus stops away because the values are the furthest, then the moderates, then the deluxe.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with anything. I just wanted to show everybody my cool picture that I got when they did the refurb. I found a store that had bought surplus from the park, from the resorts when they go into refurbishment, and they were selling this picture, which came right out of the room, out of the old rooms. So
it's awesome.
I thought it was neat.
It is.
I remember when
cool
you got it. It's neat.
Are
they still selling stuff?
I don't know right now. This is Michael's bagel that was made with the toaster that I snuck into the room. Just saying. I got the good pictures here. There is a really big arcade at Pop Century. It's called Fast Forward Arcade, and the kids love it, and they beg me to let them go there. Like, they want to leave the park so they can go to the arcade. It makes me crazy.
Cam is the same way. He wants to be in the arcade all day long. He knows there's an arcade there, where that's it. We have to avoid it, circumvent them. Yeah,
and there's really no way to do that at Pop.
No, there's not.
It's right across from the food court. Yeah, that's my husband and Dominic playing air hockey. There used to be prizes that, you get tickets and you get prizes, and the kids love that. But Disney didn't, when they started closing down all these video slot machines places in Florida, Disney stopped doing the prizes because they didn't want any question that they were doing anything that could be construed as gambling, which is weird to me because Chuck E. Cheese still does it, and I don't know. And Dave & Buster's, I don't know why Disney felt like they couldn't continue to do that.
That must be why they shut down the one in Contemporary and made it Pixar Play Zone too. That explains a lot.
Yeah, they were busting all these video slot machine places, but I don't consider that anything like that. Yeah, it is
Rich.
Rich.
Is one of the kids.
He is definitely. I have 3 boys. Oh, there's the lady in the mirror again. I think that was everything I had about Pop Century. Mandie said we should have done Art of Animation too, but I think that would have taken up too much time. Oh, there is a playground at Pop. It's over by the 70s section.
Okay, that's a pitiful playground. I'm sorry.
It is, but back when my kids were little, and if we were staying in the 70s section, oh my God, walk past it. They'd have to go in there. I mean, I don't. Yeah.
They gotta play.
But Michael gets mad when he passes this sign if we're not staying at Pop. No, Michael, we're staying at the boardwalk. I don't care. I want to go to Pop. He sees Pop Century and he points at it and he wants to stay at Pop Century. Yeah. So if you're interested
about the
go ahead.
You didn't talk about the dancing and singing in the lobby.
I did want to talk about the lobby a little bit. The lobby at Pop Century is really nice.
Yeah.
And they do some, like Mandie was saying, they do have activities sometimes during the day. The cast members come out from behind the counter and they have Lego contests and the twist, and they play Twister and all kinds of weird things. So, and they decorate really nicely for Christmas. It's not like Victorian Christmas like you're going to get at Grand Floridian or, the Wilderness Lodge, but they do have, kitschy Christmas decorations. One thing I want to talk about in this lobby, you can see on the blue wall there, those are shadow boxes that have memorabilia from various decades. Here's one from the 80s with the Trivial Pursuit, the Cabbage Patch Kid, the Simon game. Scott, did you have any of that when you were a kid? and like here's a shadow box dedicated to the Musketeers, the original Musketeers, not Justin Timberlake. So it is really neat, the attention to detail that went into that lobby. And I will tell you, the cast members, the concierge desk and the guest services team there, they've been great to me. Every time I've had a problem, and I've had problems. I left my purse in the room one time after checkout. I had to go back and get it. I had to leave early, and they were really wonderful. So other than the moldy air filter, which I did talk about in a previous either podcast or live stream. I think it was a live stream. Everything at Pop Century has been pretty top notch for me. So
the Pop Century has some of my favorite cast members to work with. I love the manager over there. She's come through for me many, many times. The staff members at the front desk are absolutely phenomenal, down to, your cleaning staff, all of them. They have a great personality over at Pop, and you can tell that they're, happy to be there and all of that. So I don't know. I think that you get some really good cast members over there. And I love the lobby dancing and games and all of that. Yeah. I think it's so cute, and it's just so much fun for the kids. I still love Trivial Pursuit and Simon.
So I do want to say something else about the food court quickly, because I'm on Facebook all the time. I'm in a lot of groups, and I'm in a Pop Century group, and people have been really unhappy with the food court since COVID. I don't know if this is just because of the situation, but they feel like the quality has gone down. So that's just something to be aware of. They have different, like before COVID, every night of the week they had a different dinner special. They'd have Mom's Fried Chicken, or they'd have like a TV dinner type thing with turkey and mashed potatoes and stuffing. So I'm hoping that once things get back to normal, the quality will go back to where it was. We just had breakfast there when we were there the last time. So I'm not sure about the dinner and lunch food. They have something for everyone. They have sandwiches, they have burgers and chicken nuggets. They have pizza, they have pasta, and just a pretty big variety. But right now with COVID, I know the variety's really gone down.
Right. And
just because of availability and lack of customers, so they can't keep everything in stock. Yeah.
Right. And resources. And to Amanda May's point is just exactly what I was about to say. You can always, if you don't like the food court at Pop, you can always walk right across the bridge and go to Art Animation.
Yeah. That's
one of the nice benefits of staying there.
Where's the horizontal map? So if you look up the top where the red line is, just past the 60s, there's a bridge. And if you walk on that bridge, you're going to pass the new Skyliner station. And if you keep walking, you're going to be at Art of Animation. There's sister resorts. You can walk freely between them, and you can eat at the food court at either. You cannot pool hop because Art of Animation has nicer pools. I'll be honest with you. But we found out tonight that the Big Blue Pool is closing for refurbishment. Right?
The Big Blue Pool is closing, and while you're not supposed to pool hop between them, I know plenty of times where they haven't checked people's magic bands. So bring your cup, go on the other pool.
She said that. I didn't.
You heard it here first.
You're not supposed to do what I said.
You're not supposed to pool hop. You're also not supposed to bring alcohol.
Shooters and souvenir glasses. Woohoo!
Yeah. Like Tom said, it's the Malinoski shot.
That's right.
I see a new t-shirt coming in the works.
Yeah. The Malinoski shot. We all should do it and then take pictures of us doing it,
So
it's going to be a new thing.
The lessons we learned tonight were refillable mugs.
Here we go.
Change the shower head.
Yeah.
Bring the toaster. And if you forget the vodka at home, it's
right there.
Oh, and pool hopping.
And pool hopping. Yeah.
Don't do any of these things. This is not right.
No.
Oh no, we're a bad influence. That's see, Amanda said so. So, was there anything else that we wanted to talk about tonight, Dave? Podcast, how's the editing going? Was the quality all right last night when we recorded?
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah,
okay,
it's good.
So, the podcast come out Wednesday night. Hopefully, will be Veronica talking about her experience going to Magic Kingdom on a weekday and her one night offsite stay, and you won't want to miss that if you want to find out how the Keurig got in the fountain.
I don't know you if you get caught, Tom. I don't know you.
Listen, my travel agent, Mandie Malinoski, said that I could bring my refillable mug from 1987.
No, I did not.
The banners. That's it.
No.
So,
Dave.
Oh boy.
Or you can contact her at
MinnieMouseMama.com.
And if they still can't find her there, you can get her over at there. No, I'm sorry. Hang on. There. She's not hard to find.
No, I'm not. I'm out there. Out there.
Anything else we want to talk about tonight, guys? We thank you guys so much for joining us. The Disney Crush YouTube channel. If you came in late and you missed any of the show, you can find it's right up there. You can watch it again. If you aren't a member of the Friends of the Disney Crush Facebook group, Bradley, I'm not sure if you are. Please join us at the Friends of the Disney Crush Facebook group, and we share lots of news on the Disney Crush, which is a Facebook page that we have where we post breaking news as it comes out. And Mandie's group, the Disney Spot, is another great group where
for any kind of Malinoski hacks, go to right there, and she'll help you out right there.
That's right. That's right.
One thing I want to say that I forgot to mention before, if you're trying to decide between Art of Animation and Pop, keep in mind that at Art of Animation, your Little Mermaid rooms, the standard rooms, are rarely going to be included in any sales for Disney, but Pop is always included in all the sales, and it's discounted regularly.
Yeah.
And so that might help you plan.
Yeah, and those Little Mermaid rooms don't have queen size beds, right? They're double beds.
They're full size beds, yeah.
And they're not that Murphy bed setup. They're like a standard hotel room. Setup.
They are recently refurbed to have the hardwood floor and the similar detail, but it's full size beds and it's no Murphy bed space.
And it is kind of the furthest away from everything.
There are literal YouTube videos of the walk from the Little Mermaid room to the buses. Yeah,
it's it's far from the Skyliner too. Yeah.
Thank you, Uli. They're from a very good friend.
Yeah, those orange bird ears. Mandie and I had seen a picture where somebody who likes to wear baseball caps because she likes to block the sun. She actually took the ears apart and put the orange bird part and the bow on a baseball cap. It was so adorable. So.
Yeah, she does that a lot. That lady, she does it well.
Yeah. You'll have to listen to the podcast, Scott, to find out why there's a coffee pot in the fountain. That should be out tomorrow night, right?
That's the cliffhanger, the teaser to get you to listen.
The teaser.
It's kind of related to the whole toaster, bringing the toaster in the room.
Gotcha.
It's kind of related to that. So.
Tony needed room for the toaster, so the coffee pot had to
go. Yeah. How did it get in there?
Oh well. Okay, so thank you guys so much. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I'm gonna go and
enjoy your dinner. Bye.
Everybody a good night. I just want to say one thing to a special someone out there. Good night, Brian Bond.
Good night.
Bye, guys. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.